I do want to transition back to the gridiron and talk a little Michigan football.
Yes.
Do you think Michigan football can run the table?
This makes me so mad. This whole season was a troll. Coach King Solomon heard this. I'm willing to bet he listened to this show and used us as his bulletin board material because
I'm okay with that as long as he pays me.
We split that money. Yeah, I think they're going to, man. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Again, Corum looks like a dominant player. Edwards looks just as dominant. Like, again, the defense continues to take over games in super impressive fashion. They let up only 5 first downs on Saturday. Like, they have all the makings of a dominant team on both sides of the field. And I don't like Michigan. This is breaking my heart to have to say, man, but it is what it is. Michigan is the real deal. This is as objective as I can be.
I'm glad you're being objective and not letting your hate for Jim Harbaugh ruin your actual objectivity, Eric. This is a big step for, like, if I
want it. I don't want it. I want to be a hater. I want to be a hater so bad.
Here's the deal. I'm not even going to talk about their offense. Because their defense, after halftime, has given up, I think, 6 points since the Indiana game.
Crazy.
Okay? Yeah. 6 points since the Indiana game. This team is on a crash course for Columbus, Ohio. Yep. And I told you, I don't know if you remember this, Eric, but it was a few weeks before the Michigan State game when I told you that they could potentially have trouble with Rutgers. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Yep, I remember that conversation.
I was arguably correct because I told you they would still win and they would figure things out, but it would kind of serve itself as a trap game of sorts.
Right.
Not to, pat myself on the back, but I'm good at doing that.
So go ahead, man. Have your moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, But at the end of the day, when you make adjustments the way that they make adjustments after halftime, this team's not going to be out of ball games. And when you have an explosive offense like Michigan has an explosive offense, they can run the ball down your throat when they need to.
Yep.
JJ has shown the ability to throw the ball, even though we go back to that whole winning experience we talked about with the Lions, right? I don't know how much I trust his hand being on the ball at the end of the game if we need a drive to win it yet, because I haven't had to see it.
Nope.
Right? But at the end of the day, I have also seen him make throws that I haven't seen many people make throws ever.
Yep.
So this team is exciting. They got snubbed last Tuesday night in the college football rankings, being put at 5.
Yeah.
I would highly expect them to be at worst 3 tomorrow, and at best 2. I could see them potentially jumping Ohio State. Maybe not, but potentially. Georgia 1, Michigan, Ohio State 2, Michigan, Ohio State 3, TCU, Tennessee 4, kind of like that, right?
Right.
Depending on how that shakes out, I'm really hoping that the winner and loser of the Ohio State game isn't going to matter.
Yeah.
And you get 2 Big Ten teams into the college football playoff for once,
who
deserve to be there rightfully.
I agree.
I think it's going to happen. And I definitely think that Michigan's not going to have to worry about it. I think they're going to go into Columbus. I think they're going to run the ball right down that awful run defense's throat. I think Blake Corum's going to have a Heisman moment, and the week later he's going to be handed the Heisman Trophy because of it. Because that dude is a stud.
Do you think Edwards is going to take away from his case?
Not at all. Not at all.
Why not?
Because Corum is the clear number 1 back. Edwards is in there as a compliment, and he's a, again, borrowing from some friends that I talk to all the time, he's a perfect Deebo Samuel compliment, right?
Yeah, I'm with that.
They say that he could start at wide receiver at any other program. And probably could start at wide receiver at Michigan. He's a better receiver than he is actually a running back.
Okay.
But he's a compliment. Now, what I would love to see if I were them, is in this red zone where they have not really shown anything in the red zone. Get both of them on the field in the backfield at the same time and run some triple option with Corum going up the middle and then McCarthy and Edwards on the outside.
Ooh, yeah.
That's dangerous.
That would be nasty.
That would be dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm calling the shot now. They win by at least a touchdown in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win the Big Ten. And I'm going to say the Corum's winning the Heisman.
Wow, you going all out.
I'm going all out. If he the caveat is he's obviously got to stay healthy, right?
Right, of course.
Like, he doesn't stay healthy, then he's not. But if he stays healthy, his Heisman moment's going to come in Columbus, and he's going to be handed the trophy in New York a day later.
I mean, that's going to be the big stage. They always like to see, how they perform on the prime time. And as of right now, he's done that. He's been there, workhorse his whole season. And at this rate, Ohio State don't look like the same defense. I feel like Michigan's O-line has been dominant against everybody. They continue to not beat themselves by letting JJ get hurt, and they don't commit any penalties. Like, if they are committing penalties, I don't see it from the O-line.
Not many.
Yeah, they got. God, I don't want to do this. They got all the makings of a team that should be in the playoffs and winning it at this point. They should be. Again, we talked about it, how they're the best team in college football. We might need to reconsider that at this point. Because we were all stars who say, not yet. I don't know.
I still think Georgia's the best team in college football.
Okay.
I still think Georgia's the clear number one until I'm proven otherwise. Ricky asked a good question. Who's a Michigan player that you believe could automatically help the Lions?
Ooh.
And then Maximilian follows it up and says, if Corum comes out, do the Lions draft him? Now, Maximilian, let me just be very clear. It's not an if. It's a win. Corum will not be back next year.
No.
And if he comes back next year, it'll be the surprise of all surprises. Like, he's going to the NFL next year.
For sure.
I don't think the Lions draft him, though, unless they can get him in, like, the second or third round. But who's a Lions player that could help, or who's a U of M player that could help the Lions right now?
Anybody on that defensive line.
Okay.
Anybody on that defensive line, I think, is an impact player. I mean, you see how they all I don't think there's one Aiden Hutchinson on that team. I don't think there has to be, because they're coming and just swatting in waves. So literally, if you take anybody from that front four, I even say maybe even the front seven, because I like some of their linebackers too, especially with how often they blitz and get home to the quarterback too. I think they have just as much upside, and I think they could be impact players for this defense right now.
You ready for the shock factor?
Oh gosh, who you got?
There's JJ McCarthy in 2 years.
You trolling now.
You get rid of Jared Goff this year. Listen, I've already set this up. You get rid of Jared Goff for this year. It's a $10 million cap hit. You get that backup quarterback. Let's call it Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley's your guy for the next 2 years. Then guess who's coming out? JJ McCarthy. Boom. Goodness. Right there in the Honolulu blue. Come on, man. Tell me I'm crazy.
We're just getting all Aiden's buddies is coming in. That's the plan.
I'm just saying. Think of the team that you could have built by 2024. The 2025 draft.
Okay.
Think of the team that you have built, and then you have a very athletic and strong-armed quarterback on a rookie deal. And he's only going to get better at Michigan.
Does he fit with this lineup though? I'm trying to think, because you need some. We talk about it. We need someone who can push the ball down the field. We haven't had to see JJ do that very often, if at all.
JJ can push the ball down the field. Have you not seen him throw the deep ball?
I mean, not very often.
No, he doesn't throw it very often, but when he does, he throws a beautiful deep ball. He missed Andrew Anthony by a half a step, not even a half a step, on he throws a good ball. I think he can push it downfield.
I'll take your word for it. Again,
it's a crazy answer. The truth is, it's exactly what you said. It's someone along the defensive line. It's Mozzie Smith. It's one of those guys that they can make an immediate impact. I mean, even a Mike Sanderson in a slot corner who's been playing out of his mind.
Absolutely.
Would be an immediate impact. I'm obviously planning for the future, but The answer to this question is whoever they bring on in the next 2 years. that's that's the answer to that question, Ricky.
I mean, that's straightforward.